Good evening, and thank you for joining us here on Rwanda Television News tonight. We do hope you had yourselves a productive Tuesday. Now here's a sneak peek of our edition. President Paul Kagame has emphasized that integrating artificial intelligence into national planning and building citizens' capacity to boost productivity and improve service delivery will play a key role in advancing a technology-driven economy across Africa. President Paul Kagame has stated that African countries should work together to address the security challenges facing the continent. On the Once again, we're glad to have your company tonight, coming to you straight from the heart of Africa, Kigali, and I bring you tonight's news is Martina Abera. Let us start off by informing you of the communique from the Office of the President. In pursuant to the Constitution of the Republic of Rwanda, especially in its Article 80, on this day, the 21st of October 2025, His Excellency the President of the Republic of Rwanda has appointed the following senators: Professor Dusingizemungu Jean-Pierre, Mr. Uwizeimana Evode, Dr. Uwamaria Valentine, and last but not least, Mr. Gasana Alfred. And this was done on the 21st of October 2025 here in Kigali, given to us by the Office of the President. Moving ahead, the President of the Republic of Rwanda, Paul Kagame, has emphasized that integrating artificial intelligence into national planning and building citizens' capacity to boost productivity and improve service delivery will play a key role in advancing a technology-driven economy across Africa. We have more coming from Adam Skizera.
Speaking at the GSMA Mobile World Congress Africa 2025, held in Rwanda for the third time, the Minister of ICT and Innovation, Paula Ingabire, noted that over the past 3 years, this conference, particularly being hosted on the African continent and in Rwanda, has contributed significantly to transforming the telecommunications landscape.
3 years ago, when Rwanda first hosted MWC Africa in 2022, it marked the first time GSMA brought its flagship event to our continent. That moment signaled a shift from Africa seen merely as a consumer of technology to Africa as a driver of digital transformation. Today, as we gather, we do so not just to celebrate progress, but to set bolder ambitions for the future.
President Paul Kagame highlighted Rwanda's understanding on how technology can transform the daily lives of its citizens.
Rwanda believes deeply in the power of technology to connect people and foster real transformation. In just a few years, Africa has gone from limited connectivity to a mobile-driven economy. Broadband and smartphones have become implements of daily life, advancing commerce, education, finance, and other key sectors. Mobile money is a good example of this.
The GSMA Director General Vivek Badrinath commended the government of Rwanda for prioritizing technology as a key driver of global economic growth.
Over the years, Rwanda has emerged as a true technology leader within Africa, embracing the power of digital transformation visibly to advance its services and improve the lives of citizens across the country. At the core of this transformation lies your leadership and vision, President Kagame, as well as the power of mobile technology. Over the past 20 years, your forward-looking digital policies have driven Rwanda's economic transformation.
President Kagame further underscored the importance of integrating artificial intelligence AI into national strategies and empowering citizens to harness its potential for innovation and productivity.
Now, new technologies are taking us even further ahead. Artificial intelligence, next generation networks, and smart devices are transforming every field, unlocking endless possibilities. But despite the progress we have made, only a fraction of Africans are connected compared to the global average. If this gap persists, the same technology meant to expand access will instead widen inequality. The most important conversation we should have is about people and how digital skills and tools can reach everyone.
Statistics shows that about 64% of Africa's population still lacks access to connectivity usage. To bridge this gap, an investment of approximately $77 billion is planned over the next 6 years into the new network, with revenues expected to reach $79 billion by 2030. Adam Squizera, RwandaTV News.
Still on that note, the Director General of the Global System for Mobile Communications Association has observed that Africa faces a challenge of having a low number of mobile phone users, making it urgent to bridge this gap. He explained that they are currently working with a network of 6 major telecommunications companies in Africa to help citizens access affordable smartphones that are durable, provide low-cost internet connectivity, and feature artificial intelligence technology tailored to Africa's unique context.
The first one is around handset affordability. Why? Because this is, after all, the biggest subject at the heart of what we are trying to achieve for Africa, which is the reduction of the usage gap. The usage gap is people who have coverage, so they could be on the mobile internet, but they're not on the mobile internet. And so the question is why? And the main reason why is because a smartphone is too expensive. So there has been a coalition of the willing, bringing together operators with the ITU, with Google, with many other players, to work on getting a bigger proportion of smartphones at lower price. How do you achieve that? 2 ways. One, work with the vendors to get cheaper phones. And for that, what we have done is, and that's part of the announcement, we're bringing out a specification that says we would, if you could bring a phone at a low price with this capability, this screen size, this battery life, these are the affordable handsets, but they cannot be, they have to work. They have to provide access to the internet in the proper way. We are convinced as operators that volumes could go up a lot. There's 3 billion people on the planet who should be connected and who are not connected. The usage gap for Africa alone is almost 1 billion people. It's 960 million people between, including North Africa, that should be using a smartphone and who are not using it. So what we're saying is, if you can bring a phone at a cheaper price, then this many people are your potential market. And don't miss this opportunity if you have the ability to scale up your volumes for these prices. So that's the first initiative. The other side is, of course, this is all fine. We can go cry, beg, borrow, and convince people to bring us cheap phones. But if then they're taxed like a luxury item, it kind of defeats the purpose.
The The 2025 GSMA report shows that mobile phone best activities generated $220 billion for the African continent in 2024, representing 7.7% of Africa's GDP. Currently, 416 million Africans have access to internet connectivity, with the goal of being that it's going to be 2030, 33% of Africans, at least 576 million people, will be able to access the internet through their mobile phones. President of the Republic of Rwanda, Paul Kagame, has stated that African countries should work together to address the security challenges facing the continent. He made these remarks today, Tuesday, while officially opening the Land Forces Commanders Symposium taking place here in Kigali. The president thanked the military leaders who traveled from their countries to attend the meeting, saying their presence reflects a strong commitment and determination to work together in finding solutions to existing security challenges. He pointed out that Africa has the highest number of security crises in the world, but added that these challenges can be resolved if the continent's nations stand united.
Africa still experiences the highest number of active conflicts in the world. Addressing this reality requires strong continental partnerships and coordination mechanisms. We cannot expect others to carry the responsibility for Africa's security. None of the challenges that we face are beyond our capacity to manage or resolve.
President Kagame also noted that new forms of warfare are emerging, including cyber attacks and disinformation campaigns capable of destabilizing nations just as conventional wars could.
New frontiers of conflict are emerging. Our economies and security systems rely on digital networks that transcend geography. Cyber attacks and disinformation can destabilize nations as effectively as armed attacks. Methods may evolve, but this principle remains the same. Our strength lies in effective teamwork. Beyond operational effectiveness, sovereignty today is not just about borders. It is also about our ability to choose our partners from a position of strength and align our interests.
The head of state further emphasized that cooperation between the military and civilians is crucial, urging the army chiefs attending the conference to uphold discipline and professionalism in order to earn civilians' trust.
Land forces operate closest to citizens. Everything that you do must serve their safety and well-being. The discipline and professionalism that you show are what either build or break the public's trust.
This international conference of army chiefs began on Tuesday and will conclude on Wednesday. It has brought together army chiefs from across Africa and beyond, military experts and other key partners in peace and security at both regional and global levels. The discussions aim to exchange experience, strengthen military cooperation between nations, and explore ways to collectively address current and emerging security threats. Participants in the International Conference of Chiefs of Land Forces have affirmed that this meeting is a sign of the commitment to strengthening cooperation between armies from different countries and working together to better safeguard peace and security. General Pierre Schill, Chief of Staff of the French Land Forces, said that the purpose of these discussions is to understand the importance of cooperation and the sharing of knowledge among armies of different nations. Major General Vincent Nyakarundi, the RDF's Army Chief of Staff, noted that this two-day conference aims to provide space for dialogue and planning for the future of the forces.
The inaugural edition of this symposium was held in Rennes, France, from 19 to 21st July 2024. We therefore extend our sincere appreciation to France for having organized and hosted the first edition, thereby laying the foundation for this important and enduring platform. Merci, mon général. I wish to sincerely thank all delegation for making the time to be here and for showing continued dedication to the goals of this symposium. We are privileged to host representatives from 28 African countries and beyond, including 3 partner nations, France, Qatar, and Jordan. Your participation highlights the importance of both regional solidarity and global partnerships in strengthening collective security. Over the next 2 days, we'll engage in candid and constructive discussions on key themes shaping the future of land forces operations. These include leveraging the capabilities of our land forces to meet operational challenges in the era of drone warfare, strengthening bilateral and multilateral cooperation, cementing civil-military cooperation, and enhancing interoperability among our armies. It is our hope that this symposium will not only serve as a platform for professional dialogue, but also as a space to build lasting relationships, foster trust, and enhance our collective ability to respond to both conventional and unconventional threats.
Brigadier General Ronald Rwanda, Rwanda's defense and military spokesperson, pointed out that the conference is a platform for exchanging ideas, sharing knowledge, and expanding military cooperation.
The Land Forces Commanders Symposium 2025 is the first symposium on the African continent, which is now the second edition. The first edition took place in Rennes, France, in July last year, and the purpose of this event is to provide a platform for discussion, a strategic platform for discussion on pertinent issues affecting peace and security on the globe. This year we'll have the opportunity to discuss emerging technologies and ways of improving the efficiency of land forces in operations. We shall also have the opportunity to discuss interoperability of land forces on the continent, and we shall explore ways of strengthening military capabilities in different countries in order to effectively respond to threats on the continent, security threats on the continent. We shall also look at civil-military relations, the impact of civil-military relations on performance in theater. So we have 4 major thematic areas which I have highlighted, and so our deliberations will focus on those key areas.
This second 2-day Land Forces Commanders Symposium follows the first one, which took place last year in France. Moving ahead, Rwanda has received nearly 300 Rwandans, consisting of 94 families who returned from the Democratic Republic of Congo. The returnees were received at the La Corniche border, which connects Rubavu and Goma. Among them were mostly children, numbering 177, along with 75 women and 25 men. They were immediately taken to the Kijote temporary transit camp located in Nyabihu district. Since 2021, more than 11,000 Rwandans have repatriated from the Democratic Republic of Congo. The research presented by the Institute of Legal Practice and Development shows that those implementing the alternative dispute resolution policy, which promotes conflict resolution outside the court system, are more concentrated in urban areas than in rural ones. However, the Ministry of Justice indicates that this policy is producing positive results, including a 24.3% reduction in prison congestion. And our Gladys kicks it off.
We have the state and non-state.
Across the country, about 700 people assist citizens in implementing this policy of resolving disputes without going through the courts. These include private practitioners, government institutions, and non-governmental organizations that help conflicting parties reach mutual understanding outside the formal justice system. Dr. Yves Sezirahiga, the Vice Rector in charge of Academic and Research Affairs at ELPD, the institute that conducted this research, pointed out that one of the key challenges identified is the lack of coordination and legal harmonization.
Sometimes you find that one person goes to 3 different organizations and all of them provide the same services to that individual, yet they are also serving other people. The legal frameworks they rely on differ from one place to another. This situation is what we call fragmentation. You may find that one provision is in the Constitution, another in the law governing mediation or attribution, another in the law on mediation committees, and yet another in the law governing judicial procedures. The fact that all these laws are different creates a problem, and provision of such support services also becomes an issue.
The research conducted over a 6-month period across the country, starting on April 14, 2025, aimed at building a peaceful and stable society, as confirmed by Inyesha Ariane, the country director of International Alert, which funded the study.
The mapping of all ADR service providers will help not only coordinate better the services, maybe even help better build capacities of the service providers, and also help for all the population to know where they can search for these services, because these are some of the challenges that we've seen in the report, that people don't really go as we would want to search for these services, which is why case logs are still heavy on courts.
The ADR policy was approved by the Cabinet on September 8, 2022. The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Justice, Theophile Mbonera, highlighted that existing gaps are being addressed, emphasizing that the policy is yielding tangible outcomes, including a 24.3% reduction in prison congestion.
For
example, in the fiscal year of 2023-2024, we are at backlog rate of 62%. But by the end of 2024-2025 year, we had reduced it to 49%. We are confident that we will not regress and allow the backlog to rise again. We believe that in the coming period, we'll reach around 41% or even 30%. This shows that the backlog is steadily decreasing, which demonstrates that the efforts we are putting into this approach are yielding results. Likewise, prison congestion rates are also declining.
Those who attended the presentation of the research findings included representatives from various justice sector institutions, such as government agencies, private entities, civil society organizations, and partners involved in implementing or supporting alternative dispute resolution mechanisms. Enora Gladys, RwandaTV News.
Thank you, Anara, for that report. Now, the Ministry of Public Service and Labor has launched a digital platform that will connect job seekers with employers in need of workers, while also helping users to build their skills in line with modern job requirements. The platform is expected to greatly benefit young people who have just completed their studies, as it will allow them to learn how to apply the knowledge gained in school to available job opportunities in the country.
It is more than a tool. It is an enabler without our national ecosystem of skills development and employment. It reflects our country's innovation spirit and determination to use technology as a bridge between potential and opportunity. So moving forward, our shared task is to scale and sustain Ngazi through joint commitment, resource mobilization, and stronger policy alignment. You know that we live in an era of resource scarcity, which means partnerships and dialogue are more important than ever. By coordinating our efforts, we can make every Rwandan franc, every dollar, and every action count, ensuring efficiency and shared impact.
The UNICEF representative in Rwanda, Liek van de Wiel, stated that the platform gives hope that it will help many people find jobs and gain professional experience.
We know very often there's a mismatch between what is out there and what the kids want to do, and the youth where they want to work and how they want to get there. So the important thing is that you have different courses, and then you know if you take certain courses, you're getting closer to the opportunity that you're aiming for. Now, at the same time, it also gives you a little bit more peer contact. So if you have an ambassador, you can ask questions. You can see which course would fit best with a certain profile. And I think the more you use it, the more interesting it gets, and the more you know how to navigate. So I think just to bridge and the connection between the different offers are very important. At the same time, I think what we learned as UNICEF, that we had to listen to the youth. I know many youth have told us that sometimes it's just too ambitious, the threshold is too high. So they wanted to be a bit more accessible, but also more affordable. So, of course, right now the platform is 0 rating, so you can go on without using your, your points or your credits. But we also know if you go to a course and you really want to download it and actively take it, it does come often with some credit. So we have to find a way of making sure that the most vulnerable children are also having access to the courses that are for payment, not necessarily payment in terms of fees, but payment in terms of credits.
The Inganzi platform will also help young people enhance their skills in entrepreneurship, innovation, and accessing job opportunities that match their qualifications.
Journey has a beginning. From nature comes refreshing fruity goodness that keeps you going every day. With every pack complementing life's best moments. Not one, not two, but 5 different fruity flavors. And this journey keeps giving. Introducing Inyandi's new fruity juice flavors, guava and cocktail. Now available at your nearest shop. Always ask for Inyandi.
Made in Kigali. Sold in Nairobi. Celebrated in Accra. This is African creativity finding its way across borders.
Afro quality. Buy African, build Africa.
Nyiri muto arababwiraga data bati ntabwo wagira umukamo mwinshi utunze inka, ariko nigeze acika intege. Mama akinjira mu bucuruzi harabamubwiraga bati ntabwo watera imbere udakorera mu iduka rigezweho, ariko ntibyamusubije inyuma, yakoranaga umwete. njya muri kaminuza hari abanshidikanyagaho bavuga ko nashobora kaminuza naturuka mu muryango wifashije, ariko byaragiye nanditse amateka mashya. Igihe cyo gutera ishema umuryango wanjye kigeze, bamwe bakomeje kumbwira bati ntabwo watera umuryango wawe ibyishimo n'ishema, ariko narabishoboye. Hari abakekaga ko nasigira umurage ukomeye abankomokaho, ariko ubu mfite uruganda rutunganya amata. Banki ya Kigali yabaye umufatanyabikorwa wanjye mu rugendo rwose, inzozi zanjye ziba impamo. Bigereho.
Welcome back to other stories making headlines on the international scene. Now, the importance of one aspect of the ongoing war in Ukraine that is often overlooked is logistics and how the country's soldiers on the front lines are resupplied. Every bag of food, every drop of fuel is delivered under fire. As Russian drones hunt supply trucks, Ukrainian crews risk their lives to keep the front alive. DW News prepared the following feature story on how they do that.
Early morning from about 4 till 6, 7 o'clock, just cabs all the time. A lot of mortars coming in and a lot of shelling.
Mac has...
The vehicles aren't able to get to the front because swarms of SUVs from both sides.
And that DW story marks the end of our bulletin. Before we close off, let's have a recap of our headlines. President Paul Kagame has emphasized that integrating artificial intelligence into national planning and building citizens' capacity to boost productivity and improve service delivery will play a key role in advancing technology-driven economy across Africa. President of the Republic, Paul Kagame, has stated that African countries should work together to address the security challenges facing the continent. On the international... We've come to the end of tonight's English News Bulletin. On behalf of the news production team as well as the technical team, thank you for sticking with us on RTV News. My name is Martina Abera, and until next time, stay safe and have a good night.